Welcome back, gamers, to another episode of the Weekly App. First off, thank you all for any view or support of the last video. Greatly appreciated. That was fucking awesome. Now, today's topic, okay, is strength. We're talking about strength today. I think overall, strength for me lately has kind of redefined itself. What's made me think this way is a mix of stuff. I've been watching shows like Vinland Saga, Invincible, and also reading a book called Berserk. And I think that also, like, I understand a lot of people stop reading around the Golden Arc or after the Golden Arc. Luckily, I've made past that. I'm on like book 16, so like I kind of just passed it into another arc. This content I've consumed has changed the definition of strength for me, or like any doubts I've had kind of pushed me over the edge to this thought process. Good example is in Vinland Saga, I feel, where the main character Thorfinn is on a warpath with revenge and getting revenge for the death of his father, and he seems like throughout the first season just that's all he wants is revenge, nothing else. You know, morals aside, you'd bend his morals for it. Spoiler warning. At the end of the season, he doesn't get the revenge. And, you know, you kind of see him mentally, like, fully snap, it feels like. Or just break in a new way than before. And so the second season is just him dealing with that. And you kind of just see how much of a struggle it is for him. He just can't get over it for the longest time, and you see him like truly struggle. Like, you thought season one, you know, you thought the worst thing ever has happened to him. His dad died in front of him, and he didn't get the revenge, and he broke all these morals that he had or thought he had. Now he has to rebuild himself, and you see that like that was harder for him to do than get stronger. It was so much harder for him to get over that and kind of forgive himself and or try to move on in a meaningful way that wasn't just like, you know, suicide or whatever. When it comes to Berserk, I think Guts is on a very similar path. It's definitely not the exact same, but it's definitely a similar path where he just cannot give up this vengeful path, and you kind of see it in the Golden Arc for a minute. It's like he goes from like just about to understand what life's true meaning is or what his dream is, right, to then like that gets ripped from him just when he starts to understand it, and now he's like on a new path that is still the same as when he started. Like, when he started, he thought war and fighting was all that he needed, and then he realized at the worst time that what he really wanted was what he had the entire time, that was the Band of the Hawk. And so like now he's on a new vengeful path that seems very similar to Thorfinn's in a similar sense. Obviously there's in the details completely different, but it's crazy because we think strength is this like, oh, he's strong or she's strong or whatever. Through this content, I've been feeling as if strength it's definitely more than just that. And for some people that's a no duh, but for like others it's kind of like, I was always on the fence. I was like, yeah, like they're strong, but like this is also strength. You think of like Superman as like strong, right? You think of like, say, take Invincible, like yes, those characters are strong, but like, you know, look at Omni-Man. He even struggles when it comes to like mental. It feels like mental fortitude is like more like is even stronger than physical strength a lot of the time. And like, you know, you can take this from real life too, like not just fiction. Examples of this, right, are people I think that, you know, can survive chemotherapy and survive cancer, or, you know, people who can overcome some of these horribly mentally challenging times. I think of my mom all the time. I think she's super strong. You know, she's not physically like the strongest. You know, she's strong, physically strong in aspects, but she's been through a lot of traumatic things in her life where I'm like, okay, I think that's more like that's stronger to me than, you know, some dude who can, you know, lift a huge amount. Like that's like that he definition he is strong, sure, but like you can easily get strong. There's like a guide to get strong where mentally everyone has their own battle. Like some people are forever battling, you know, people with depression and stuff like that. Like if someone who can get out of depression, right, is so much stronger because they had to drag themselves through who knows what. Like depression isn't always like the extreme, but you know, sometimes it is. It's kind of like there's good days, bad days. Overall, I think strength has changed for me, and I hope this kind of helps someone view themselves, maybe who've looked down on themselves in the past and maybe been like, dang, I did go through this and I'm stronger because of it. And it's not always in a physical way, it could be just mental. But yeah, if you like this video, give it a like. Let me know of any stories or anything that kind of made you stronger. And yeah, I look forward to seeing any comments on that. But yeah, hope you guys have a good rest of your day, and make sure you stay hydrated. Fucking deuces.